Start with Adam.
I'm curious to know the difference between this and like signing day a few years ago. Because signing day, you're choosing a school. You don't really have the option to do that. And now, how are the feelings different in anticipation?
I feel like going into signing day, you have an idea. You know exactly what you're getting into. You know who the coaching staff is going to be. You kind of know like what the environment's like, what Knoxville is like. This situation, you don't know. You don't have a clue about anything. You don't know what coaching staff, what city. You don't know like the players you're possibly going to be with because you don't have those type of visits that you would have going into signing day. It's probably the biggest nerve-wracking thing that you have kind of going into the process, just not knowing where you're going to live here in a couple months.
Alontae, just describe what was the mobile experience like for you?
It was fun. I feel like it was a lot going on really fast, but being around a lot of guys who are really good at what they're doing and guys who want to be successful and everyone's kind of chasing that same dream, it's really easy to kind of have those conversations with those guys and kind of cheer those guys on and not being selfish. The environment was fun. The game was fun. And I feel like it was a really good week kind of going out there during the parade and, kind of giving back into the environment or to the community, but also giving to like different families who needed food and things like that was probably the funnest day.
Trey, Vince, and Patrick.
Alontae, off-season, workouts, getting ready for the combine, getting ready for the draft. What's that been like? Where you been at? What do you think you have, kind of gained the most of the last 3 months?
It's been fun. I've seen my body change a lot. I was actually out in Exos in Phoenix, Arizona. I left a little bit earlier there because I had opted out of the bowl game. But going in, I went in at 187. I was 7% body fat. Right before I left, I was 5% body fat, and I weighed 199. Never thought I could put this much weight on. Never been this big before, but looking in the mirror and things like that every single day, not really seeing the change, but feeling my body feel better, being able to run faster, just kind of feeling more healthy, eating the right amount of food. I'm glad that I did it, and it's something now I know that like what to do to maintain weight and to gain weight. A lot of kudos to the Exos facility for taking their time into the dietitians, into the strength staff, into the speed coaches, just putting in a lot of time into me just to have me ready for the combine and pro day tomorrow.
Alontae, a couple things. One, what was your reaction and NFL people's reaction to your 40 time at the combine?
My reaction, I knew I was going to do that. I always had the faith I was going to do that. And when I walked into the facility in Arizona, I told Nick what my goal was. And he told me that I could reach that after kind of seeing the progression going on. I wasn't nervous at all getting down there. Probably the first time I've never been truly nervous to do something. Put in 8 weeks of hard work, each week seeing, things getting better, PRing each week. Going into Arizona, going into the combine, I was just like, I'm going to run that. And then whenever I got back to my phone and my Nick had texted me and told me it was a 4.41, I was like, okay, bet. Like, I can get that 4.3 for sure. My goal is a 4.38, and so the 4.36 really blew my mind. Got emotional when I got to my room, just kind of going through the toe injury and things like that. And then for everyone else, while doing informal meetings, I told every single scout I was going to run a 4.38. A lot of them had me sign it and all that stuff to for my word, and I did what I did, and I can't wait to see those scouts here tomorrow so I can look them in their eyes and be like, I'm a man of my word. So.
Heard you also worked a little bit at safety in Mobile. What do you think about that option for you in the NFL?
It's different. It was fun. It was cool, something I know I can do. I played a lot of nickel, actually, out there. A little bit of corner, not too much corner, more so nickel. But knowing my IQ of the game and realizing getting on the board with different teams and doing X's and O's and of safety and corner and nickel showed a lot of me and showing that I can go into any system, adapt to any type of playbook, and I can play anywhere on the secondary.
Alontae, you talked about how you put on weight, you trimmed your body fat. How did your 40 time change over the time that you were training between the end of the season? So now how much did that go down? Yeah, so when I got there, we ran 40s the first day. I didn't run because I was still healing from my toe. So I didn't have a baseline 40 time, but as we started going into 20s and 10-yard splits and things like that, my time started to change. Actually, a week before I left to go to Indianapolis, I had ran a 4.47 there, and then Nick was just talking about, we had just started our taper and things like that. So once my legs got back underneath me, and then just being in that environment and knowing what's at risk when you get on that line, I think that's what really kicked into me. And then, like I said, just rehabbing and getting my body ready. And then when I got out there,
Did what I did.
You talked a little bit about how you were telling scouts what you were going to run.
Mm-hmm.
Have they told you that would really help your case, help your stock in the mind of a lot of teams?
No, not really. Just when I told them, they were just looking at me like, are you sure? Are you positive? And by that, I just knew that they didn't believe that I could run that as well. So when I did that, the first thing that came to my mind when I looked up to the screen and I seen the official 40 times was like, yeah, so like what now, So I shown that I can run. Now tomorrow, just kind of showing more about my being able to do things on the field that maybe I struggled with a little bit there at the combine. So.
Back to Adam, or sorry, we'll go back.
Cool. Alontae, 2 questions for you. Big day tomorrow, obviously for your draft stock. What do you hope to accomplish?
Really just that I can catch the ball. I feel like I struggled catching the ball those first couple times in Indianapolis, but also just, being around my teammates, my former teammates, and just interacting with them and just showing a different style of leadership. It's a different way that I kind of led there in Indianapolis, kind of being more into myself, but leading by actions. But tomorrow, being able to be that vocal leader and cheer on the other guys who maybe didn't get to go to the combine, but just really that I can catch the football. So.
Second question for you. This is something that a player dreams of, going through, his childhood, getting to this moment, going through the NFL draft process. What does this moment mean to you?
It means a lot. I think right before the combine, I had put something on my Instagram. It was like, "Dear 5-year-old Tay," just kind of saying to myself that this is what I dreamed of. I'm finally here now, and I deserve it. I feel like for the first time, I kind of sat down and was like, you really worked your tail off for this. You deserve to be here, and this is where you're supposed to be. So just take it all in and enjoy the moment, and don't let it go by too fast so I can have a story to one day tell my kids. So.
When you're thinking forward, are you thinking about an NFL career over several years, or are you more focused on that first day on the job sort of thing? Where's your perspective?
I feel like just being where my feet are right now, this is going to be a whole different type of football that I'm heading into, and just learning how to be a pro, reaching into the minds of the veteran guys and just kind of figuring out how to be a pro the right way. But then once I get comfortable and I get to going, then I can kind of start looking more so into the future. But right now, just being where my feet are, and right now I'm here, pro day tomorrow, being with the guys, and then we'll go into, the draft and then wherever I end up.
Alontae, during the combine, Charles Davis was talking, kind of talking about you while you were running and saying that there was like a mentorship kind of program with former players and current players. Kind of talked about you a little bit. What's that sort of dynamic been like with him? Have you been able to reach out to him over the course of this process as you've been getting ready for the draft and everything? And what's that been like to kind of maybe connect with him?
It's been awesome. Me and Charles, we've been talking for maybe 2 years now. We text. He texted me before games, after games, things like that. And I haven't got to meet him in person. But whenever I got to the Senior Bowl, he was like doing the NFL Network there, and he actually got brought down there and seen me, Velas, and Cade, and talked to all of us. And it was good to finally meet him in person, a guy I've been talking to through the phone. And then at the combine, after I ran my first 40, I went to my phone, like I said, got my results from my speed coach, but then Charles had texted me and told me what my time was, and he was like, now go get that 4.3. So I could tell he had the faith and the confidence in me as well. Someone that, we're going to stay connected all the way through this thing, and I can't wait just to see where I end up, and then just having those conversations with him, because we kind of have the same background story as in coming into Tennessee and all those things, so yeah.
Alontae, during any of the process preparing for the NFL draft, have you heard any comps to current or past NFL players, maybe the most at all?
Not really. Haven't heard much. Haven't really asked much as well. Just kind of just taking it day by day and just seeing if I hear anything eventually. So.
We'll finish in the back.
Alontae, how do you feel that Tennessee has prepared you for this moment?
Tennessee's prepared me in many ways. I guess ways that showed up more so whenever I got into the combine and when I got to the Senior Bowl. As far as like understanding the game of football, the strength staff, of course, gotten stronger, gotten bigger, gotten faster. I kind of seen that development throughout my 4 years. But one thing that Coach Pruitt and Coach Ensley harped on was just knowing the game, and then Coach Martinez and Coach Banks coming in here understand like, hey, Alontae, like we know you know how to play corner, but learn how to play safety, learn how to play nickel, even if I don't take a snap in the games. And from doing that in a way of not truly writing down notes, but just listening and like understanding what they were saying, when it came to board work at the Senior Bowl and board work at the Combine, it was simple. It was easy. And I kind of shocked myself as far as knowing that my IQ of the game is really big. And so just from that, I feel like Tennessee prepared me for that. And then, I mean, off the field, just being in Tennessee, being in the environment, things like that, I knew that that was going to be something that was simple and easy for me. So.
Appreciate y'all.